What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Buds. Yes, we did rebrand ourselves again. There was some miscommunication amongst the we group over here.
It was an odd decision.
We have got it figured out before we get started on...
So what you're saying is the logo, the name, different.
But everything
also
else...
same with all the same content and great sport takes.
Yep, absolutely. We are
with
Buzz.
No clickbait outside of him.
We are Buzz across all platforms from Spotify to YouTube to Facebook and TikTok. So, before we get started on this action-packed stuff that we got to talk about, we got our special guest Tanner with us. Finally got him on an episode with us. He is single, ladies, and ready to mingle. So,
or men. We don't judge.
But,
or dogs, whatever.
Before we get started, we do want to give our thoughts and prayers to the families in Minnesota. There was a school shooting that took place. 2 young kids, unfortunately, did pass away. Multiple injuries. So our thoughts and prayers are with the families out in there. So about what we're going to leave that on that just because
that's all that needs to be said.
That's all that really needs to be said. But we're going to jump right into some NBA talk here. And we're going to start with Mikal Beasley. He was... basically brought up by the government on basically gambling charges by the federal government and pretty much cost him a payday with the Detroit Pistons. It's been a couple months now, and now he's been cleared of all charges, and he's no longer I guess you could say a suspect in the gambling thing, which is good for the NBA because Terry Rozier was also cleared as well. So it was just Michael Porter Jr.'s brother that was get. So the NBA kind of dodged a bullet there.
Does Bridges and Rozier, do they get to sue the government and the FBI for defamation of character?
That's
what it's kind of sound like. Because Mikal Bridges was in the line to get the bat.
He was in the line to get
that. And then that happened, and
fucking lost everything.
He lost everything.
Does he get to turn around and sue for loss of wages and for defamation of character? Because to me, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's definitely something I would definitely look into for sure if I'm him. Because
you're talking tens of millions of dollars,
especially Rozier, who's
because I think it was Beasley's contract was like a 3-year, $42 million deal. He was going to get paid. I mean, one of the best two-way players that last year, and Detroit moved on because of it. They got other players, so now he's kind of just sitting out there and not going to get the same payday, obviously now because a lot of money's been already kind of spent up. So, but let's see. But I guess another question is, has the NBA dodged a big bullet with these players being found innocent outside of Porter Jr.'s brother, who was obviously banned and whatnot, Rozier, like you just said. So what are some things, like, you think the NBA could do to, prevent this? Because, this is a big... It's a big deal.
It was the same thing that the NFL has done. The NFL has came out very publicly that no player in the NFL is allowed to gamble, and you're not allowed, especially allowed to, I think they're allowed to gamble, but just not on the NFL. You can do college and you can do other sports, but you're definitely not allowed to do it on premises, and it's tracked. And if the NBA is not doing that, which I don't know, I never heard that they put in these same guidelines.
Yeah.
But if the NBA has not put in them same guidelines, then the NBA should implement the same type of guidelines the NFL has. And let's be honest, you're being tracked. So when you're on as Tanner knows, when you're on DraftKings and you're on the ESPN bets. Your location is shared. You have to show your location, so it shows that you're in a state that gambling is legal.
Yeah.
If you're here in Kansas, you can gamble. But you go down to Florida, not legal to gamble on sports.
You go to Arrowhead, you can't gamble.
Okay, well that's technically sorry, but now that is not legal there. I do believe now. So
just saying.
To fix it, I think to fix the problem, they need to keep hashing down. The NFL had the same problem when it first kind of came out. Yep. Now the NBA is kind of running into it a little bit. Just to be personal, what they have to do, would need to do is kind of implement that. Not really a shot, but I'm just saying, luckily, they couldn't track people in the 90s. Otherwise, Jordan would have been banned forever. Because boy was gambling on everything.
Boy gambled on everything, boy, let me tell you something. But that is that, so we'll have to definitely see what happens with Beasley going forward.
As far as Michael Beasley, I heard the Knicks and the Cavs are looking at him anyway, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see how that turns out.
This would be a better landing spot for him, Mavs or Knicks.
I'd say Knicks.
I would say Knicks is just more shooting. He's a good spot-up shooter, and he's a good defender too. He's a good two-way player for sure.
I mean, he might have fit the old Knicks mold with Tom Thibodeau there, but
Yeah.
I think him on the Mavs fit a lot better. Give him
I
that.
still don't
the
understand that firing.
that spacing there for AD in the middle to control the whole mid range in paint.
So definitely have to stay. Definitely pointed to that. The NBA's definitely dodged a bullet with these guys being
Fuck it,
cleared.
Lakers go get him.
I
That's the minimum. Fuck you.
You're gonna.
No, we need help on that. We need help.
You need help. How much more help can you need?
Easy.
We need all of them.
Easy, Dallas.
Well, I'm scared we're going to trade another star player, okay?
Hey, we're going to get to that very shortly. I guess we need to talk about LeBron James here for a second. Will this be it for LeBron? There's a lot of rumors swirling out here that this could be his last season, but we don't know. Like, what do you think? What do you think, Tim? Is this going to be LeBron's last year?
I think he's going to play up until Bryce's rookie year. What's that, number two?
One more?
Yeah.
Well, potentially one. Bryson will be a freshman at Arizona this year.
I think if somehow the Lakers and Luka and I guess LeBron they get a chip, I think you write that off.
I think it's going to be more like what happens in this offseason. Can Luka convince Joker to come down to LA?
Oh, you mean the following offseason?
This fall.
2 years on his deal, I think.
Who, Joker?
Yeah, I thought he
Well, Joker opted out. He didn't.
Oh, he
He
opted
didn't do
out.
it.
So he's going into Joker's going into the final year of his deal. But for me, for LeBron, I think this is probably his last year.
I would.
But I definitely think it's his last year if he does win a title. That puts him at what, 5?
Yeah, 5 rings.
It would put him at 5.
And that's, I mean, you're 43 then. So like I think it'd be a hell of a way to go out on top.
Definitely.
That would have been 3 with the Heat. It would have been 1 with the Cavs and then 2 with the Lakers. That statues and jerseys retired all over the place on 3 different franchises.
I don't know about the statue in LA.
If he gets a second ring,
I think the reason why he's getting the statue in LA, even if he doesn't get the second ring,
Shaq got he only had 3.
Yeah, he was there.
But I think the reason LeBron will get the
there
statue.
like 5 years. Shaq was there 5 years with the Lakers.
Yeah. I think the reason why he might get the statue in LA is because he broke the record for most points in LA. And I think if you're going to do a statue in LA, you got to do the shot that he did to make the turnaround.
I mean, if we're going off of that, then yeah, because he broke the all-time scoring record there.
I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, he's getting one in Miami,
Yeah.
and jersey retired in Miami, and Cleveland, without a shadow of a doubt. Like those two are for sure. The Laker one, it just kind of depends on how they feel. Well, now that they sold, if Genie was still charged, I think he would get. Now with the new ownership, we don't know. They could decide to go in a different direction with that. We don't know.
I think it's kind of like a Bill Russell kind of thing. I think he's just going to kind of get a statue. There's athletes that have done less, that have gotten their jerseys retired or have gotten a statue with other franchises. And every all-time player that's ever played for the Lakers, they've gotten some kind of statue. Or some kind of jersey retired.
My problem with the statue is the same problem I have with the Hall of Fame. Like half the players in there I wouldn't have put in the Hall of Fame.
So you're more like a baseball Hall of Fame kind of guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Me too. I'm more of a baseball Hall of Fame guy. Like my Hall of Fame is hard to get in.
So now, speaking of not the Hall of Fame, but jerseys getting retired, not talking statues, but Derrick Rose. Okay, we understand Derrick Rose, what he did coming into the league. 3-time All-Star, 2010, 11 All-NBA, all 2008-09 rookie team. He was the Rookie of the Year, and he was the youngest MVP into the 2010-2011 season, beating out Bron.
Bron should have had it, but we're not going to.
Derrick Rose is getting his #1 jersey retired by the Bulls, January 24th, 2026. Is it deserved? He's 17 points per game, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 45% from the field, 31% from 3. He played 723 games. 15-year NBA career, but obviously cut short due to, obviously we know, injuries.
15 years is cut short?
Well, the career that we thought we could have got from Derrick Rose.
15 years is not a short career, and he bounced around a lot.
Yeah.
I can't help this was the most polarizing player they had since Scottie Pippen.
15-year career, he played on 6 teams.
That's
Derrick Rose was the only one since MJ to make that team relevant, so I mean.
And Scottie. And Dennis Rodman. Since those guys,
it's been Rose, and that's been it.
I personally, I don't think he deserves his number to be retired. I mean, would you give him a retired jersey?
I guess the real question becomes: is he going to be the first MVP to not make the Hall of Fame? Will he make the Hall of Fame?
Here's my problem. In my Hall of Fame, he wouldn't. But I don't know about the NBA.
Like, he'd be the first MVP, because in basketball, it's not the NBA, it's the basketball. So they include everything he did from high school to college to the pros. They include
He
everything.
ain't win shit.
He just lost to Mario Chalmers in the
Yeah.
championship.
He didn't win shit. He didn't do anything. He won one MVP that
Shouldn't have been
pretty much
his.
everybody agrees that he probably, like most, I would say 90%,
Voted for Teague.
shouldn't have won. So
Voted for Teague, that's why he won. Voted for Teague.
I don't care about voter for I don't get voter fatigue. I give it to the best player, and the best player was LeBron. He should have got it, but he didn't, which is here nor there. He got it. Cool, that's great. Just deserving his jersey retired. He had a great 3-year peak
Yeah.
peak
Yeah,
there.
the great peak. Yeah.
Honestly, like they had nothing else to celebrate, so you might as well let the Bulls fans try to celebrate something. I mean,
That's fair.
hell,
how we
Chicago.
have we have Grizzlies retiring people's jerseys, and nobody even knows who they are half the time.
That's fair. But let us know what you guys think. If you believe that Derrick Rose jerseys should be retired, let us know what you guys think about that. We need to switch ourselves to another organization that we got to talk about. Brandon's been very vocal about this, the Golden State Warriors. We need to talk about Steve Kerr. We're going to start with the Jonathan Kuminga, Steve Kerr situation. Jonathan Kuminga doesn't want to be there. It's been he's made that very publicly known. And the organization wants him, but Steve Kerr's basically ridiculed this young man. And we can all agree, don't know why. Because when you watch him play, you've been very vocal about watching him play. You see the oohs and the ahs. But Steve Kerr's like he doesn't contribute to winning basketball. Like, what
more do you want him to do?
I don't know how to do coming off when in the playoffs this year, Steph goes down because he is the Warriors. Like Warriors is Steph. Steph goes down. Kuminga was coming off the bench, and he was your leading scorer. And it wasn't like he was giving up buckets on the other side, and he was efficient. I didn't know being efficient and locking your dude down on the other side was not winning basketball.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not everybody's a 6-foot point guard that runs around nonstop with unlimited cardio that just chucks up 23s a game. I mean, like, I didn't know that was winning basketball. Now, when you have Clay in his prime doing it, then you bring in KD so you can continue to win championships.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I guess that is kind of winning basketball. The Warriors fumbled so many young, high lottery picks. Now you have this dude, and some of those guys, they just didn't quite pan out. We have this dude that could literally be the next, could carry the team after, Curry.
Yeah.
Same way Jordan Poole could have been that dude as well with Andrew Wiggins, but they kind of blew that up as well to go get Jimmy.
That was Draymond, but
Well,
we're going to get to that in a minute.
But
we got some interesting things to talk about on that.
But Kuminga, you see him on the court, and you're like, the dude's just a certified bucket.
Yeah, I don't.
And like at some point, just let the man go so he can see what he can do in the NBA.
Well, the Kings have been very vocal about trying to get him, but
it's hard to say that the franchise even wants him or the coach doesn't want him because Kuminga and his representatives like, I'll come back on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Like fuck the money, fuck all that. I'll come back on the 1 year like $7 million. They're like, no. Because if he comes back on the 1-year deal, they have no rights.
Yeah, they have no rights. He can just leave, and then they don't want him to do that. But
the dude just wants the ball.
Which goes to show that they know what they have there, but they're not willing to pay him. And he knows if he stays, he's not going to get the play time to develop.
Yeah. But speaking of the Draymond situation, so
he got
it. Brandon got this
because that shit is dumb. This shit is so bad. It's like if you come up to me and you're like, man, this dude's just like bullying me, and I'm like, stick up for yourself, and you finally stick up for yourself, and I'm like, yeah, so now you're fired. That's exactly
what happened.
Steve Kerr told Jordan Poole to stand up for himself and be a man. Now you're like attacking my manhood. With Draymond Green was talking shit to him. All right, well, clearly Jordan Poole went to the coach, and that's what he said. Cool, all right, I'll be a man. Poole said to Draymond, you're an expensive backpack for $30 million.
And that's why he got punched.
Well, he ain't wrong, because, he is.
Yeah.
This led to the viral Draymond Green punch. Was Steve Kerr's advice helpful?
No.
He said say with your chest. He did not back up his statement.
He said it with his chest. I'm
talking about Steve Kerr. He's like, hey, say with your chest. Stand up for yourself. And Steve Kerr's like, I ain't getting involved in this shit.
He's like, yeah, honestly,
when you think about the Warriors organization, like Brandon said, you go back to the lottery picks that they've had the organization and Steve Kerr, we'll say the coaching staff failed to develop or let them the Kevin Durant or Steve Kerr, Draymond, then the Jordan Poole, Steve Kerr, Draymond. Like
you could say the only
he's
player
always been the problem.
There's a common denominator
the
here.
only player Steve Kerr has actually ever developed was Draymond Green.
Yeah,
like he inherited prime Curry and entering prime Clay and got prime KD at free agency. The only thing he actually ever did was Draymond Green.
Because that was the one guy Mark Jackson really didn't let be that guy because that didn't fit how Mark Jackson.
Yeah, that's why I don't like this discussion about Steve Kerr being the greatest coach of all time. I'm like, he didn't even build the team. He inherited it from Mark Jackson. Like, what did he do?
Yeah,
not a damn thing. I mean, he's won one championship. I give him credit for one chip.
That one where he
22.
beat the 22, where he beat the Celtics. And think about what's kind of funny about that championship? You know who's a big contributor to that championship? Jonathan Kuminga. His rookie year, he was a major component. He played big minutes in those finals. And then after that was really about it. So it's funny how that one really worked out for him. But that's really about all the news we got in the NBA. Now, we're going to move over to some college football. We do have a big game coming up this weekend, this Saturday to be exact. Ohio State and Texas. How we feel? Before we even get into how we feel about it, these ticket prices are crazy. I think just to get in the game, like $302. Average pricing about like $582, so basically $600. But most expensive college football game out there right now. But how are we feeling about this game? Like we're a lot of hype behind Archie in Texas. Ohio State coming off a national championship, which they didn't cheat to win, unlike another, Michigan. But that's here or there. We've already had that discussion.
That $20 million trophy, but we're not going to talk about
that.
Hey,
look.
It's $20 million, man. That's all it costs you. $20 million.
It's only cost me $20 million to win a natty. I might as well just cost $20 million.
You got that type. You got them boosters, baby. You'd be all right. Okay.
I think everybody's gonna be tuning in to watch the Ohio State Texas game. I mean, we're all tuning in. Like we're gonna watch it. Like it's gonna be primetime TV. Week 1 of college football has like 4 great games that's slated up to be played. And honestly, I'm really here to see how Archie, I think this would be like his 4th career collegiate start. I'm quite curious to see how he really actually handles Ohio State.
Big light. It's all on your shoulders.
Well, it's his team. Like before, like he was subbing in.
Yeah, filling in.
For
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, for Quentin Ewers. He was just kind of subbing when he was hurt. And so I'm really curious to see how well he handles the big depression.
Yep, for sure. One other thing we had to talk about: why the hell was Boise State ranked? Why was Boise State ranked? That was an ass whooping they took.
They missed Ashley G.
Then boy, let me tell you,
they forgot he went to NFL.
They
forgot.
I get they were only ranked 25th, but goddamn.
Their whole offense was jetty, so I don't know what they're doing this year. So
they got that, but. College football is really basically underway this weekend. There's definitely going to be some great games slated. Definitely going to be tuning in. But now let's before we transition over to the NFL, we do have to make one note that did break here. Dana White and President Donald Trump have officially stamped and got that the White House, the UFC event at the White House, will take place next year. They got it done. That is stamped. That's going to be amazing.
And it won't be pay-per-view.
No, it will not be pay-per-view. You can watch that on ESPN. That's about
so since it's not pay-per-view, it's going to be having any of the big fights, though, is the question.
Now the question becomes putting that card together. That's got to be the card of cards.
The biggest question is, will John Bell Jones be on that card?
Will Conor McGregor be on that card?
I doubt either one will.
McGregor will be on that card. Why?
Because he's been pulling out fights for how long now? Dana ain't gonna take that risk with a White House.
Yeah, but you think about the money that's gonna be involved. Like the money's really gonna be there.
Dana offered him $30 million to fight Aspinall this year, and he said yes, and then said no, I'm good.
But now we're gonna be on the White House.
Well, because the thing is like John Bell Jones doesn't need money. McGregor doesn't need money. Like our kind of favorite saying here recently is, they both got fuck you money. They both have fuck you money.
You got fuck you money, Tanner?
Man, that must be nice.
You got fuck you money. But McGregor has fuck you money. He has a fucking yacht. He has his own.
Lives on a yacht.
He has his own whiskey. Like McGregor has fuck you money, but there's never been a UFC fight.
There's nothing been like this ever
on the 4th of July.
So what? You think he's gonna fight Chandler on the card then, or? The fight that's supposedly been set up for God knows how long.
He's talking about Conor and Chandler. That's the fight that's been for like the last 3 years. If I'm Dana White, this has to be the carnival card, and you got to put your feelings aside on how you feel about certain guys, and it's got to be like, this is a one-off. Like, you're never getting anything like this ever again. Like, this is a one-off.
The money's going to be astronomical that they're going to make because they just got paid. Like,
and what do you got to worry about no one fucking up?
Just got paid for that Paramount deal.
Well, like everybody, like every big-name fighter, honestly. Does Ronda Rousey make an appearance in the UFC?
Dude, that would be great. Amanda Nunes. Come on now.
She's coming back, I thought already.
Yeah, she is. Like that. Like, come on now. You're talking about like.
Because some of this is not even really about the money. Like this is one.
This is about putting on the best card. You know.
Because Trump is not. Because like Trump won't be able to run again. Trump's only going to be here for running into next year, 3 more years. So it's not like it's ever going to happen again.
Yeah, no, you're not getting this ever.
Dana White and Trump are their best friends, they're buddies. So this is why it's happening.
Yeah.
On the 4th of July, like I think it's not about the money. It's about being like this is America.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, we need like American fighters versus like Russian fighters. That's America. This is America.
Could you get Islam back in there?
I mean,
is that Khabib? Like, could we get Khabib back in here? Like,
I don't think Khabib's ever coming back.
We want to go fight first.
Since his dad died, he's not wanted nothing to do with it.
No, he's not wanted, but
like I mean, to beat up on somebody.
Boy, I'll be very curious to see about this card. Definitely something we're going to have to stay tuned to. But I just wanted to make sure we put that out there. So, moving into the NFL here. So, so last year, obviously, we know Tom Brady became a minority stakeholder in the Las Vegas Raiders, and he's obviously in the booth talking sports now. And he was not allowed to be in these certain meetings last year. He was barred from it. Mm-hmm. Now he's allowed to be in these meetings. So, like, how do we feel about that? The NFL will now allow Tom Brady to take part in production meetings with coaches and teams this season. Last year, Brady was banned for much of the season from the information gathering season as Fox Sports top broadcasters due to ownership role with the Raiders. Wasn't allowed to do it last year, but we're going to allow him to do it this year. Is that a problem?
I mean, I don't see it as a problem.
Like, I understand.
It's only going to be a problem if he comes out and says something on
initially, them being a little.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Initially, I understand like barring him from it, not knowing like how much influence he would have or what kind of information he could really gather, because like this was unknown territory. So barring him from it at first made sense, but I feel like as a full season went along and really understand what kind of information he would be able to quote unquote gather and what kind of input he actually has on the Raiders, which isn't necessarily really a lot because minority, a couple percentage. Yeah. I think they're like, okay, like what the information he would be getting isn't nothing else that Michigan sign stealing that cost $20 million for a natty they couldn't get.
That's fair. But that is allowed to be part of those meetings now.
But does it make him a better commentator, though, being able to be fully engaged in everything?
It should be.
I would think so, yeah.
Well, he did say last year it was a struggle for him because he wasn't allowed to be a part of those meetings, so he felt,
Well, that was his first time. But I still feel like his first time, though, it was nice and refreshing to hear a newer voice speaking.
Better than Greg Olson's.
Better than Tony Romo calling out every play before it runs, but
I'm just saying, Tony Romo did that while he was playing.
Hall of Famer, dude.
Hall of
Famer. Like, every time you hear him talking, like, why did you do that when you were playing, dog? Like, we need to run back your career, let you run up to the booth, see how they're set, and run your big ass back to the field. So,
I personally like Tony Romo as an announcer. It's fresh, it's new, and he really helps. Like, even like the fans that don't really necessarily pay a whole lot of attention to the game,
I would say
helps their education. And
I'm a big fan of a lot of these former players getting into the sports media and talking sports because, like you said, it is refreshing because it's speaking from experience. They're calling out things that like your sports writers that don't really know. They're calling that out, and you get to see it and understand what they're talking about. So I like that aspect of it. Switching over to our favorite team that we love to make fun of, the Cincinnati Bengals. We got to talk about Trey Henderson. Trey Henderson got a 1-year, $14 million deal. Well, I guess you could say not a deal, but to add to his salary to make it $30 million this year. Do we think Trey Henderson made a mistake by doing this?
Absolutely. You're risking injury on a 1-year deal when you're already old in your 30s. Like, why not take the cushion, take the 3-year deal, have a little cushion there in case something happens?
Well, they weren't going to give him the question.
That's my point. I would still hold out for a longer
Right, so
deal.
you're saying he should have just held
He
out.
should have held out for a longer deal.
Held out and got traded somewhere else, and there was clearly still money out there from franchises to be able to offer up. I would have held out. Like, what's the point of going and getting? Sure, you got a boost, so you got a pay raise this year. But what about next year? What if your play declines? What if you don't get 15 plus sacks this year? You'll be 31 going into the next offseason. Now, granted, like Daniel Hunter's making 35.5, Max Crosby's making 35.5.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of where he should have lined up at. He's cheaper than that, but again, like the Bengals, they have 75% of their cap wrapped up into 4 guys. That's not a winning recipe, and I don't think getting Henderson on the field this year helps their defense out at all because he was there last year, and we still saw what that looked like.
But I guess the point is like, what was the point of the Bengals doing all this bullshit with everything that they did just to end up giving like this Shamar Stewart? What was the point of dragging that out? What was the point of dragging out this Trey Henderson? Like, why not just offer that up in the beginning?
The point was they didn't
like,
have
what
no
was
money.
the point of dragging it out for? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the point of this? Well, you've actually heard about like Adam Scheffler came out and said that the organization, in a lot of ways, is a broke organization. They haven't even really paid Joe Burrow. They don't really have the money to give to Jamar Chase technically yet. So not a great look for an organization.
I don't think it's really that. Like, they have to have the money in the bonus when you pay the bonus, you have to pay it. Like, it's due. But they are a very cheap organization. The whole
they don't have fuck you money. They don't have fuck you
money.
money.
I think they have fuck you money, but the owner just doesn't want to pay it.
It's his fuck you money. He don't want to give up his fuck you money.
But like with the rookie, I really don't know what that whole ordeal is about. And people go through holdouts all the time, and they kind of came to an agreement where he wanted to be there, and it was close enough to a 1 year per average salary for him, enough for him to come back. But the bigger thing is kind of on like talking about the ownership. They had they're bringing in some Ring of Honor guys that they're putting into.
Who was that dude that they brought in? He talked about
the quarterback.
The quarterback. Oh, he's a commentator. I can't remember his name. But they did.
But anyways, thanks for making all of us look stupid. They're bringing them in, but like you have to pay for your own hotel, pay for your own flight, pay for your own travel. But come here and like let's celebrate you. When other organizations they do that, like when the Chiefs do that, when they retire Tony Gonzalez, is never put him in the Ring of Honor. When Jerry Jones does it, they pay for all that. I pay for your flight here, I pay for your hotel, I wine and dine you, and a little last like hoorah.
Yeah, it's not.
But
it's not
the
great.
Bengals, nah. You know what? Like I
If
paid
you
you
get
back.
here, we might do something.
Like I paid you back in the '90s. Like we're good.
Shit, you're not wrong. You're not wrong on that at all. Next up, another holdout that finally got taken care of was the Washington Commanders. They took care of Scary Terry, 3-year deal, $96 million, giving him $32 million a year, just $1 million under DK, who's getting $33 million per year. So, how do we feel about Scary Terry? How do you feel about the deal?
Very deserving. I mean, he's been the number one in Washington for how many years now?
He's
And he's been Jane Daniels' favorite target so far in his career. So, I mean, got to pay the man.
I mean, like it was well deserved. I don't know what the holdup was, not wanting to pay. The only kind of guy that made your quote unquote shitty ran organization up till last year when the ownership changed.
The only guy you talked about.
Until now, so like it was well deserved money, easily earned. And to me, sometimes it's just confusing on how ownership and GMs get held up on wanting to pay certain guys, especially when you have a rookie quarterback that shows out like a CJ Stroud or a Jason Daniels or Jalen Daniels. How they look. Why you skimping? Pay the money and go chase that chip for what 4 years?
Yeah, the window's gonna be there.
How long they go and they get? You're paying Deebo Samuels more at that time than you were paying Scary Terry. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, no.
That's bad.
Speaking of the Commanders, they did move off of a player, Brian Robinson Jr., the running back. They sent him to the 49ers, and they got a 26 sixth-round pick back in return. How do we feel about them giving up on Brian Robinson Jr.? Like
They didn't pay him.
They didn't want to give him money. That's as simple as it is.
Like, give up on a man that got shot and came back. Like, that's crazy.
Well, they didn't want to pay him, go to the last year of his deal, but I'd like to know your thoughts on his impact with the 49ers offense, with Brock Purdy, CMC,
I think it's
Ayuk eventually coming back in a couple weeks.
He's a top tier backup for CMC when he inevitably has an injury. Because if past history,
I think it takes the workload off CMC a little bit. Like Robinson could, when I say do what Christian got, he could catch out of the backfield. He can run between the tackles. He's a dual threat, so you don't have to put all that workload on. The packages don't all have to be for CMC. You can run some packages for Robinson Jr. now and save CMC for when it matters most, playoff time. Because we all do know CMC is injury prone. Them calves, them Achilles, they're not the same anymore.
Well, I'd be really quite curious to see how CMC's Achilles and his calves are kind of looking, because he did those the Simpsons overseas.
Yep.
And both of them, because he had what was it?
Calf strains.
Or he had calf strains, but he had arthritis.
Yes.
He had bone spurs on his from his heel onto his Achilles, and so he had a lot of that. He had all that taken care of. So we quite curious to see what kind of CMC we have, what kind of explosion he still has. But what I really don't like is like when you say quote unquote save him for when it matters most, and you say playoffs. Like you have to get there first. Why are you trying to save somebody for the playoffs that you may or may not get to? Doesn't it make more sense when you say save somebody? You mean for more like? Wouldn't it make more sense to say like clutch time when you get like
like situation,
like big time games?
Yeah.
Versus being like, well, we need to save him for the playoffs because you might not be there because the 49ers, they're either there or they miss altogether.
You're not wrong.
I mean, CMC definitely can't be there for 90% snap share.
But you also have to too. The crazy thing about the 49ers this year is like when Sky Moore is your number one wide receiver at the moment. Boy, I don't. Brock, dude, you're gonna have to hand the ball off, my guy. Like I don't know.
Running back sets.
Like I don't know what we're doing. George Kittle better step the fuck up here.
MVS is and Marcus Valdez-Scantling. MVS is their second.
Two former Chiefs wide receivers or what?
They got our old wide receiving core now.
Because Brandon, from our understanding, everything that we've seen, Brandon Ayuk won't be ready until about week 6 or 7. It's looking like Brandon Ayuk will not be ready until then. So
pray for Brock Purdy at that point.
I mean, they paid him, so I mean, at least he got the bag.
Yeah, he got the bag.
He's secured. I just bet George Kittle's, he less blocking, more catching.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to talk about some groundbreaking money that was done over the weekend as well. All-Pro safety Kyle Hamilton got the bag, ladies and gentlemen. Got the bag. You want to handle this? We got
this. Kyle Hamilton is an All-Pro safety for the Baltimore Ravens. He got a 4-year, $100.4 million extension banner. Largest for a safety in NFL history.
Oh, God.
It includes $82 million guaranteed. The previous record was $45 million for a free safety and a strong safety. So he damn near almost doubled that amount.
I mean, as far as Baltimore goes, a great organization. They pay their stars, and that's a star they needed to pay to keep around.
But I guess my question to you is, 45 million guaranteed was the highest. He's guaranteed $82 million of his 100. So there's $18 million not guaranteed in that contract. How do you feel about that guaranteed money going to a guy that's about getting closer to the age of 30?
I mean, if he's still balled out, he's still balled out. Like I don't see a problem with it as long as he's not falling off a cliff.
Actually, Kyle's only 24.
Well, I completely missed the ball on that one.
Okay, never mind.
He's only 20. He's only been in the league 2 years. He's going in his 3rd year.
But if you're an organization, why are you going from $45 million that's guaranteed, and why are you almost doubling it by $40 million?
I mean, if you're that desperate to keep him, I mean, sometimes you got to go over that.
But why do you set the market that large, though? Like, there's no precedent to reset that guaranteed money for safeties that large. Like, you could have done 50. Why not 55 or 65 million?
I think the 82 was way too high. Like I agree with you. You could have done like in the 50s or
as
maybe
an organization.
Yeah, I think
because I think for him and his agent, they've done the safeties a hell of a
boost. Safety,
let alone corners as well.
As far as the money goes, maybe they're just trying to get ahead of it because they don't want him to get towards the end of his contract and have a Dallas Cowboy situation, I like to call it.
Well, because like the Ravens, Eagles, and Chiefs, and a little bit of the Bills, they pay their guys ahead of schedule.
They do.
Yeah.
A little bit like the Eagles kind of set that precedent. We kind of saw a couple years back when they paid Devontae Smith. They paid him with about 2 years left on his deal. The Chiefs just did that with George Karlaftis. And we see the Bills. They've also have made some good moves when it comes to Josh Allen and his money and his D linemen and O line. And it looks like the Ravens have always been very good at obviously drafting, but they've always kind of kept their homegrown talent more or less by paying ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
At some point, do you ever foresee Jerry Jones ever figuring that part out?
Oh God, no, not before he does.
We'll get to
Or we're not touching on him, but like
I'm just saying.
Is an organization that doesn't ever pay ahead.
I mean, look back on it. How many players has he fumbled because he done this crap?
I don't necessarily they ever fumbled. They've just always have overpaid and had to reset the market. To me, you have to if you always have to reset the market to keep your star guy. You're never going to be able to.
Yeah, they always wait until they franchise him for 1 or 2 years and then decide to do a long-term deal, which screws them over in the end anyway.
Well, I mean, that's what the Commanders do with Kirk Cousins.
Not wrong.
Kirk Cochain.
Kirk Cochain is a backup, so.
Hey, he made like 45 million.
Hey. Not going to spend too much time on this one, but it was kind of funny. So, in the offseason, the Browns traded for Kenny Pickett. They gave up a 4th-round pick, I think it was, for Kenny Pickett. The Browns ended up trading Kenny Pickett to the Raiders for a 5th-round pick in return.
And he never saw the field.
Never saw the field.
Never in preseason.
So that happened. Another trade that went down in a reunion. Adam Thielen is going back to the Minnesota Vikings. Take that for what it's worth, but
Thielen,
another weapon for JJ. So.
I mean, the trade the Vikings get Thielen, a conditional 2026 7 and a 2027 5th-round pick, while the Panthers get 2026 5th and a 2027 4th.
Yep. So there's that. Another guy that is, if you're a big fantasy person, this is going to be a tough blow for you. You're a guy that was really big for you last year in your fantasy. Joe Mixon is out for at least the first 4 weeks because he was put on the PUP list. No, not PUP list.
Yep. So he was put on the PUP list entering the preseason.
Yep.
And they never took him off of it. So since they never took him off of it, he cannot play for the first 4 weeks. So he's pretty much kind of like an IR situation.
But there is some swirling rumors out there that he could miss some significant more time, which is very unfortunate because last year, I mean, he played 14. He had 14 games. He had 245 rushes for over 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns. Got about 4 yards a carry. So he really came onto the scene last year. I mean, he spent a lot of time with the Bengals, worked high on him, came to the Houston, kind of really got going. It's unfortunate because they signed Nick Chubb. We were looking forward to seeing kind of what that dynamic duo is going to look like, and now that dynamic duo is going to be put on hold.
Well, if Nick Chubb can come back, if Nick Chubb is fully healthy,
they're going to be doing fine.
You're going to be fine.
I think the backfield would be fine. That double head monster went out of the backfield to kind of, I think, take some stress off C.J. Stroud. Isn't necessarily there, but Nick Chubb is a bell cow.
Yeah.
If he's fully healthy, that backfield.
Just protect the knees at all costs. Protect the left knee at all costs.
I don't know. The dude can squat like 700 pounds.
Yeah, so he's all right. We got to talk about our team here, guys. Kansas City Chiefs here before we get to the massive thing. Rashid Wright, 6 games suspended. He will not be able to return until week 7. Do we have any thoughts on the 6 game suspension? Like, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I was wrong. I thought it would be 3, 2, 4, but I guess I think it's way better than the 10 to 12 games.
Yeah, but they
NFL wanted.
Yeah,
and 6 games. It could have been way worse. I still think Addison's DUI is worse than somebody that was just speeding and being kind of reckless. The DUI is way more reckless, but apparently if it's on video, it makes it worse.
If it's publicly, everyone can see it. I mean, I can see how the NFL take it more seriously.
But
it's like because
being under the influence should be taken more seriously than a 22-year-old in a Ferrari going 100 miles per hour down the highway when he crashed and there was other people there, but he's a 22-year-old and Addison's a little bit older and he was drunk. They only got 3, and so apparently you just can crash and have to pay fines and do community service, and the NFL will give you 6 games. But if you get caught under the influence drunk,
well, let's not forget Jalen Carter coming into the league had a similar situation to Rice, and that happened.
Well, yeah, because he was still in college.
He was coming out of college.
It didn't happen
but he also killed one of his, I believe, teammates.
I mean, he did lower his draft stock.
He did.
When he fell right to the Eagles.
Yeah, beautifully. Captain right in there. So now, let's get to the massive news that broke over this. If you're a fan of any team in Dallas, boy, I just know I feel sorry for you. Because like, I don't know what your organizations are doing. Before we get to it, is it like, you know how like when you work at a company and like I'm the CEO, but you guys are the board. I make the decision, but then you don't like the decision I make and you come in and overrule me. Someone needs to do that for the Dallas Cowboys for Jerry Jones. Not trying to be disrespectful. It's time to put Jerry in home. Like, it's time to go. Like, this is wild.
Well, I think all Dallas fans want to put Nico and Jerry in home.
How even Luka chimed
Which
in.
one's worse, though? That's the question.
Oh, with Jerry Jones. Because Nico's turned into Cooper Flag, AD, and
we don't know what these stupid late round picks are going to turn into.
But let's get into the deal, Brandon. Let's get into it. Let's get into what we got here.
So we got Micah going to the Packers, while the Dallas Cowboys get in return, they get 2 firsts.
And Kenny Clark.
And Kenny Clark, who is a
according to Jerry,
a premier run stopper when
according to Jerry, baby,
he's not even ranked in the top 10 defensive tackles in the NFL last year. But, I mean, he was a little banged up. You look at his stats, and it was definitely on a decline the past couple years.
Just know if you're a Green Bay Packers fan, you got a little different swagger to you right about now.
I just know Jerry was like, hey, you beat me in the playoffs every year? Hey, you're my best player. Here you go, buddy. Like,
so, in that same instance, let's talk about Micah Parsons' money. We're going to start there. Micah Parsons is getting $47 million a year. So, the highest paid non-quarterbacks in the NFL, number 1 slotted is Micah Parsons at $47 million. Mind you, making more than Patrick Mahomes, who's a multi Super Bowl winning champion, Super Bowl MVP. But I digress. $47 million, ladies and gentlemen. How do we feel about that?
Considering TJ's at 41 and Jamar's at 40.2.
I can't get over the Jamar Chase one. I can't.
I mean, he's the all offense. I don't know what you're.
And then Myles Garrett's at 40.
And then you got Hunter at 35. Crosby at 35.5, Justin Jefferson 35, CD at 34, Nick Bosa at 34, and then DK cracks the top 10 at 33.
Let's tell you, how do you feel that you have CD at 34, who we all could probably say that could be a top 5 receiver, top 3. Then you have Jetta, who everyone's like, that's the dude of wide receivers making 35. But then you have Jamar Chase. You said the whole offense, but so is Jetta, but so is CD. But Jamar is making 40, making $5 million more than Jetta.
I can't get over when I look at Jamar making that.
Who missed like 6 games and still got over 1,000 yards receiving last year.
I mean, I can't argue with the fact that he's probably overpaid, but at the same time, do you really want to let a guy like that walk? I think Cincinnati's definitely had fuck you money at that point, but not anymore.
Well, that's what Joe wanted. Joe wanted his guys to be paid, and he got his guys paid. Like, there's no doubt about it. But
what about the Packers? So the Packers and Parsons $6 million higher than T.J. Watt on average for the non-quarterbacks. Is that overpaid?
I don't think so.
I mean, he's younger than T.J. He's younger than Garrett, Daniel Hunter, and Crosby.
And he's top 2, top 3 DN right now.
I mean, like, any given Sunday, I mean, he could wreck a whole game plan all by himself.
Yeah. I just know Aaron Rodgers is sick to his stomach. The Packers never did this for him. They never did any of this for him. But in that same breath, when you talk about the Packers just became the first team in NFL history to spend over $100 million on 2 players in a season at $102 million total in 2025 because you add in Jordan Love, who's got a 4-year, $220 million deal, and then you add in Parsons' 4-year, $188 million deal. So there's that as well too.
What does it do to the Super Bowl window for the Packers?
Well,
I mean, I don't think.
I think that bitch is wide open.
Well, when you look at their division, the NFC South, it definitely catapults them even higher. I mean, Detroit was 15-2 last year. Green Bay was 11-6. You add Micah Parsons to that defense now. It's always been a solid defense. It boosted their confidence.
But they never had a stud.
No,
that. The secondary is decently solid, but they never had a game record in the front 7. Since
I know if I'm Caleb Williams,
Reggie.
Or maybe
Like,
trade you away.
but when you really think about, like, the only guy that's really not going to overly fear Michael Parsons that much is probably Jared Goff because he's got a solid left tackle over there. But if you're talking about Chicago and Minnesota's like, J.J. McCarthy's like, dude, I'm just a rookie. Please don't hurt me. And then you got Caleb Williams that's just going to be running for
he's already got hit, the most times last year?
So
it's only
if
going to
you're
be
a
a
Packers
worse.
fan right now, your swagger is definitely a lot different right now. I mean, hell, when you talk about quarterbacks being paid, I mean, Jordan Love is the 5th highest paid quarterback in the league. Like,
well, in that division, you could usually say that they have the best quarterback and the best defensive player.
Yeah.
And other best or second best head coach.
Yes, I could absolutely agree with that.
It's like I know stuff.
I'm proud of it.
Hilarious.
It's like I know stuff.
That's an I thing, not a we thing. That's
Definitely,
that's an I thing.
because I won. Keep on agreeing.
But now let's get on to, like, if you're the Cowboys, why do you? I guess what the question I'm trying to get here is why? Why? Like, in all reality, why?
Jerry's hand started finally hurting writing checks.
Like why? Like, this was a very, very public. Like, this fell apart quick, and it all really came down to Jerry didn't want to. Basically, made it clear that I didn't want to deal with the agent. Like, I don't think he understood what agents are for. Like, that's why they're there, to handle this aspect. Then Jerry goes on and has his press conference. We can win more games without him. I just know week 4 is going to be fireworks. Dak's in trouble.
I just know that press conference the other said we might be able to stop the run now. And I'm just like,
oh, I guess I can't go with that. Like, the parameters of getting Michael Parsons in a trade was we needed first round picks. You had to have the money, and you had to have D tackles. And apparently that was the Packers. That was it.
I mean, the stopping the run thing, we all know that was a shot at Micah. Because everyone says, well, he kind of sucks at stopping the run.
Yep.
Which, I mean, kind of does. Because he's just cued in on sacking the quarterback.
Yep.
But it's not like he was horrible against the run. It's not necessarily his number one objective. So clearly it was a shot at him. And I'm confused by the draft capital that they got 2 ones, but they're like, we need a D tackle. They're like, well, we can win now more games without him. How? You can't win now. Like, you're not in a win now mode anymore. So
you were 7-10 last year.
The past 2 off seasons, they're like, we're all in, and then you paid CD and you paid Dak now twice, and now Micah's here. Micah, by the way, fell into them in the draft when they got Micah.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, we're our best defensive player. So like, what are they? I don't really know what they're doing.
I don't understand what they're doing because they said they've been in win now for about 10 years now.
It almost sounds like, it doesn't sound like, but it looks like they're trying to, they're trying to build a roster that a roster cap wise and money wise is not there. Like, they have too many like guys under contract, big money contracts that are in win now mode. I don't think Jerry Jones understands that you have to have the cap flexibility, let alone the draft capital, to build a roster. They don't have the cap flexibility to do that.
Yeah. I don't. I just think this is going to be one of them trades that's going to go down as probably one of the worst trades you've seen in just all of sports history to a degree.
To me, it would have made more sense if they would have gotten more draft capital versus
like,
getting a player back.
Think about this. The 49ers traded away 3 first-round picks to get Trey Lance back a couple years ago.
It worked out. They made it to the Super Bowl.
And
we didn't play it down, but
we didn't play it down.
Cowboys only got 2 first-round picks. Mine, like we said, they were late. They're going to be late first-round picks. So, yeah, Jerry, to me, man, someone's got to step in and stop.
I just know if I was GM, I would put every trade into Madden, and if it did not get accepted, I'm not accepting that trade.
That trade didn't go through Madden.
I guarantee you that trade did not go through.
It did not get accepted in Madden, and I would be declining that trade. If it was close, I'm like, okay, it wasn't even close. No, I wouldn't be accepting that trade. I'm like, oh, we got to do more. Madden says no.
Madden says no.
Madden says no.
Steven Jones just needs to take it over at this point.
I just know the Cowboys, they're looking a whole lot like the
Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals.
All offense.
All offense, baby. Fuck the defense. The Rams
don't
said
need it.
The Rams said fuck them picks a couple years back. The Bengals and Cowboys are saying fuck the defense.
You're not wrong. So now we're gonna go division by division here, and we're gonna talk about playoffs or not playoffs. So we're gonna start with the AFC East. You got the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, the Jets, and the New England Patriots. I think we can agree that Buffalo's going to win that division, right? We think Buffalo's going to take that division.
Not the Patriots?
Are you sure?
If you're Tevis, they're taking the division.
Lord.
But no, I think it's got to be Buffalo.
Easily.
Does anybody else?
I think Miami.
Miami, you think's going to make it?
I think Miami and Buffalo both come out.
So, because last year Buffalo was the only team out of that division to make the playoffs.
Yeah, just going to grab Buffalo and Miami both will come out. That healthy Miami team, they'll come out. Wild card.
As long as 2 ain't throwing up gang signs by
Hey,
season,
look. As long as 2 is headed and bounce
So
off the ground,
Miami
we'll be
was 8-9 last year. How bigger improvement? Obviously,
We'll probably turn up about 11 wins.
11 wins.
Yeah, 10.
So obviously we got the Jets that are revamped now. New Justin Fields over there, new head coach. They were 5-12 last year. How are we feeling about?
Maybe 7 wins, maybe.
That'll be around about 500.
About 500.
That defense is going to be nasty.
And then the New England Patriots, obviously under Mike Vrabel now, new direction, They were 4-13 last year.
I think Drake May's going to make a jump. They're going to win more games, but they ain't going to get sniffed the playoffs.
No, I mean, I about agree. Like they're going to be a hard out there. There's a lot of defense. Buffalo's not going to win. They're going to, I think, end up splitting more divisional games than they have in the past 3 or 4 years, just because there's so much defense. Patriots defense. They got the God damn it, not the Dolphins.
The Jets.
The Jets defense has always been tough for the Bills. So I think they're going to.
When you look at New England's
defense,
their defense is going to be solid this year. It's going to be
the Jets and Patriots both will be, and they might sweep the Dolphins, which is the only way that they're probably going to walk that in over the Dolphins. But it's going to be a hard out for the head-to-head.
Definitely going to be close divisional games.
The NFC East, we have the Eagles, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. The Eagles and the Commanders were the only 2 teams to come out of that division.
It's going to be the same thing this year.
The same.
Yeah, same
thing.
Same
Who wins it? Division.
Eagles win it.
Commanders.
Really? You think the Commanders take the division?
Yeah, because he's going to be correct.
It's an I thing.
Oh, that's an I thing now. Okay.
No, like the Eagles.
They lost a lot of players. Let's keep it 100. They lost a lot of defensive players.
Sure, not really, but sure, you can say they did. But they didn't. They kept the core together.
Veteran, I guess you could say veteran guys.
And I don't think Washington's added enough to be better than the Eagles.
I think they've added. Well, experience goes a long ways.
Well, the Commanders have the oldest NFL team for a Week 1 roster since 2000. 28 years old is their average age.
I just don't necessarily trust the Eagles to continue to repeat. I don't trust Jalen Hurts as that guy, let alone I don't trust the head coach Nick Sirianni if things are kind of wishy-washy. I don't trust Saquon to stay healthy. And so, honestly, I'm
a lot riding on him. He's got a lot of curses out here.
I like the Commanders to take a very close one.
I could rock with it. AFC North. We got Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland. Baltimore and Pittsburgh were the only 2 teams to come out of for the playoffs in the AFC North.
How do we feel? Baltimore's definitely winning again, I would think.
It's not going to be the Browns and Shador?
Oh, no. Shador, the 3rd stringer.
I honestly, it's going to be the Ravens. I don't actually know. I don't know if anybody else really gets out of that division. They're going to beat the shit out of each other.
That division is going to...
Like, the Browns,
my problem with Pittsburgh is we don't know what Aaron Rodgers we're getting.
Yeah. If we get, Green Bay Rodgers, do we get, first season with the Jets Rodgers? I don't know.
You would know that very well, wouldn't you?
I would know that very well, but...
That's a soft spot. We don't go there no more.
It just kind of depends what kind of A-Rod we get and what kind of running game the Steelers can get. We know the defense is going to be there, but... About midway through the season, they're
I'll also be very curious to see what DK looks like. If he's over there now too as well. But obviously that depends a lot on Aaron Rodgers as well. NFC North: Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay, Chicago. Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay were the 3 teams that came out to the playoffs. Chicago did not make the playoffs last year.
Well, I don't think Chicago's making it this year.
Who's winning that division this year? It was close between Minnesota and Detroit. Detroit ended up winning the division last year.
It's going to be the Packers.
I would say it's on the Packers to really win the division. Now you
I
make
think the Lions take a step back. They lost both OC and DC, so they'll take a step back there.
Minnesota. You think have to take a step back
And
too.
Minnesota
Because we don't know what JJ is going to be.
And
Yeah.
JJ's a rookie, so they're going to be a sub 500 team, which doesn't look good at all. And the Packers with Jordan Love, if he can be healthy for a full year to get a really good feel what he really can be for that franchise.
How much are we putting into Ben Johnson with Caleb Williams combo?
Yeah, I don't really care. Like, there'll be a couple of wins better, but Caleb Williams in the preseason looks ass. So, like,
He didn't show us anything for those preseason games.
but so the Packers in getting Micah and Jordan Love, if he can stay full healthy, yeah, if you're going to win the division, I think a little bit more comfortably. The Lions are still going to be there. Don't get me wrong. And the Bears and Caleb Williams, since we got to talk about the guy once he paints his finger enough as quarterback, a lot riding on the season for him. in my opinion.
Yeah.
If he
Because
doesn't do good this year, he's going to turn into just another Bears failed project.
I mean, so do we see a whole Kyler Murray kind of thing? If Archie is what Archie is, Bears have the first overall pick, then they go and draft Archie and boot Caleb out?
I mean, why stop drafting quarterbacks now?
They haven't had one apparently to throw for 4,000 yards
Ever.
Ever.
I just know whichever
They're
quarterback for the Bears throws 4,000 yards, he's getting the statue. That's all I want you to know.
Their last good quarterback was Jim McMahon at like 85.
Rex Grossman was solid.
Hey, don't forget about Jay Cutler. He had some nice years with Chicago.
Best thing he did was what he did with his ex-wife.
Hey, AFC South. We got Houston, Colts, Jags, Tennessee. Houston was the only team that came out of for the playoff last year, obviously winning the division.
I think Houston's going to be the one to go again.
Can we say none?
Yeah,
Can't we say no?
Can we say none?
Well, we
No,
kind of have to pick a division winner at this point.
I mean,
Yeah,
it'll be Houston. I'm more curious. For me personally, I'm curious to see what CJ Stroud looks like going into year 3. Had a little bit of sophomore slump. Curious to see what him and Nico Collins will look like, and Nick Chubb, obviously.
Make sure that knee's solid.
Any words of encouragement for Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor
I
Lawrence?
got zero hope for them, dude.
Honestly, like buy the dude out. You can't, but like buy him out. Go for
That's
Archie.
fair. We're not even going to talk
Pay for
about
Archie.
NFC South. We got the Bucks, Atlanta, Carolina, and the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, Tampa.
Tampa's obviously winning.
So
Yeah.
That's it.
It's
Like,
Tampa.
there's nothing to discuss.
It's again kind of a Bryce Young. He kind of got hot there towards like the very end of the season.
I mean, they drafted him at number 1. We'll see how that turns out.
That to me is more.
what about Atlanta?
Michael Penix?
We don't
Michael
know what
Penix.
we don't know what he looks like yet. We haven't seen him play a full game.
And we're not even going to talk about the Saints because that shit's trash. But I think
Who's their quarterback again?
Spencer Rattle's been named the starter.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Saints fan. I'm just looking.
I'm just gonna go hide. Like I'm
I'm
not.
waiting for 2026.
That brown paper bag right over here.
Like honestly, the public, you could pay $5 and you could call a play. That's what we're going to get to at some point.
And then our beloved AFC West, Kansas City Chargers, Denver Raiders, obviously Chiefs,
Raiders.
Chargers, and Denver came out into the playoffs last year. Chiefs won the division.
Raiders. No.
Brock
That's an
Bowers.
I think. That's not a we thing.
Oh damn. So y'all saying the Chiefs are going to win another division title?
Yeah,
Make it 11.
yeah. I think
Do
you
you
have
have
to take.
anybody else sneaking out there?
I
I think I have Chargers making the playoffs.
I could see Denver being second, the Chargers being behind.
What?
Chargers will be last.
No.
Chargers will be last. Geno Smith and the Raiders.
Ashton Jitsi,
They'll
baby.
be fighting for third, second. But I think the Broncos.
It's a preseason
Get the
game
playoffs.
liar. Action Genty ain't looking hot.
Hey, look, preseason. Don't give a fuck about preseason. That was
What do you have that one game? Negative 2 yards?
Well, that was the very first
Hey,
touch.
it's preseason. It don't count.
Oh, okay.
Just like that field goal. It didn't count.
Everybody's undefeated.
Brandon
week
sure
one,
thinks it
okay?
counts, but you know.
Hey,
Everybody's undefeated come week 1. Okay.
that's fair.
I personally think Geno Smith, Ashton Genty,
Brock Bowers.
and Brock Bowers they're going to look great.
Don't forget Amari Cooper and Myers as well.
I just don't trust Gino with
Yes.
anything.
I mean, how crazy is that? They're going full circle. Adam Thielen's back with the Vikings. Mari
Dude, it's like
Cooper's-
2015. Yeah, like 2015 all over again.
2015 all over again. And then last up, we got the NFC West. We got the Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers. The Rams were the only team that came out. But they did win the division. But then in Seattle had the same record, but the Rams had the tiebreaker.
It all depends on how Stafford's back is currently.
That's probably about the one area of concern right there is the back.
How is that a concern when the dude plays through injuries?
Dude's getting epidurals like a motherfucker.
Definitely getting them shots every other
And he's
possession.
What do you got coming out?
I got the Rams.
The Rams. I would like to say that I think Arizona is probably going to be the team I would like to see step up in this division. It's right there. Seattle, Sam Darnold taking over. We don't know what that's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. The 49ers, again, Sky Moore and MVS are 1 and 2 as your wide receiver.
Don't
know.
have good receivers, so what, week 8 minimum?
I mean, Arizona, I think the Rams still win, but Arizona, I think, also
Makes a push.
makes a big push in this division.
I don't think the Arizona Cardinals do much of anything this year.
I mean, they paid that tight end. They got a lot of hope for him.
That's great. That division is too well taught. I see the Seahawks.
But they beat the shit out of each other, too, in that division as well.
I mean, they do, but like the Cardinals are going to be horribly the odd man out, in my opinion.
As long as Kyler Murray can see over his line, he'll be okay.
I think
He still can!
I think the Seahawks with Sam Darnold is going to be a kind of a Viking vibe there with all that offensive talent that they do have with the guys that come out of the backfield and with the skill weapons they have out wide and that young defense they have grooming there. I like that. And honestly, you can make fun all you want of the 49ers, but CMC's a do all of himself a full offense. With Brian Thomas coming out of the backfield.
You wanted Sky Moore off the team for a reason.
I did, but
he can't catch.
Well, he looked pretty good in preseason.
And then
MVS. I do think the Rams and that young defense with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams coming in the backfield, they'll win the division, but I still think the 49ers they can make the playoffs.
All right.
Make it slip in there in the wild card.
All right, so we're gonna go awards. Who will be the MVP of the NFL this year?
Patrick Mahomes.
You think Patrick's gonna?
He's going scorched earth. I'm sitting on him. He's going scorched earth. Like, he's had really 2 quote-unquote down years. He's getting Rashee Rice back week 6. His Worthy's looking good. Travis is revamped. He's engaged. We have some stuff coming out of the backfield. Noah Gray's going to take another leap, in my opinion. Our left tackle looking great. All line's looking hella solid. You're going scorched earth. You have to win games. The Bengal fans didn't understand that. Like, Joe Burrow might look good, but you got to win games, and we still have that. We still have a very young, studded, cheap defense that's going to help us.
As far as MVP goes, it's down to the same 3-headed monster that it is every year in the AFC. It's down to Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson.
Who are you giving it to?
I'm giving it to Lamar.
You think Lamar's? What that make? 4 MVPs?
No.
How many does MVPs? He got 2, 3.
3 now if he wins.
3 MVPs. Good lord. Damn.
Who you got?
Man, MVP. I'd have to say
Mark Bowers.
Please God.
I would have to say probably Patrick. I'd have to go with Patrick. I think all the shit talking that's been going on over the offseason, being called out, being called this and that, I think you're going to see kind of like that first year type of Patrick Mahomes when he came as the first year starter, 5,000 yards, a lot of down the field, worked on the mechanics. So, Offensive Player of the Year.
For me, it's going to have to probably be. It's going to be CMC.
Come back here.
He's going to be both. He's going to snag both those awards. In my opinion, that 49ers offense is lacking talent. And like I've already said, he can be the whole offense. And he'll be the whole offense, but there'll be low taking off when it comes to running between the tackles. And he's going to have a lot of outside the tackles and a lot of runs after the catch. It's going to be him. He's going to have an easier 1,000. He's going to be 1,000.
Who you got? Offensive Player of the Year.
Just because the Cowboys are about to be like the Bengals, I think CeeDee's going to get one.
That's right, because like, they're going to be airing that big.
But I'd say he's going to be throwing 50 times a game. Like, it's not.
As long as that can stay healthy.
Yeah.
I almost want to say, like, I feel like
Ashton Genty, I know.
Derrick Henry.
Just because you draft him every year don't mean he's
How
going to
can
be.
you say Derrick Henry when you have Lamar Jackson?
Why can't
Lamar Jackson does the same thing Derrick Henry does. That's quite difficult to do. Like, you don't ever see somebody that wins the MVP and have the Offensive Player of the Year on the same team.
Derrick Henry's just getting older anyway.
I still think he's gonna have a great year.
Why you say you can't? You say that, but Joe Burrow could have technically been an MVP. You had Jamar Chase, Offensive Player of the Year. You have two guys in those categories.
But he wasn't. That's my
Jamar
point.
Chase or Joe Burrow was an MVP candidate,
but he didn't get it.
Okay, then Lamar Jackson didn't get it. Josh Allen got it.
But in your scenario, you're saying
you can't have two guys in those scenarios. I just gave you
Lamar
scenarios where two guys
Jackson
were those.
was going to win MVP over Derrick Henry ever getting Offensive Player of the Year because of Lamar Jackson. One of them devalues the other. Because that means there's a lot of talent right there, and they're going to give it to somebody else that has somebody else that's a little bit less.
I agree with Brandon because Lamar takes all the pressure off of Derrick Henry because everyone's got eyes on Lamar.
He's going to have a great year. No one's debating that, but I don't like your pick.
Well, who else could you? I don't see CMC get Offensive Player of the Year because you'd have to win games, and I don't see the 49ers winning games.
No, as far as Offensive Player of the Year, they don't base it on that. That's more of an MVP stat.
How are the 49ers not going to win games? They've never not have won games when they bounce back.
They won 6 games last year.
They bounce back. They lose and then they bounce back.
They have no wide receivers. You got to be able to throw the ball. You can't run it every time. You're just going to destroy CMC. And he'll be out again, and then he's done.
You're acting like they don't have an offensive line. They can still throw the ball.
Trent Williams
they didn't
like
have no wide
50 years
receivers.
old.
They didn't have no wide receivers last year, and you said they won 6 games. There's 4 games you could have flipped. They could have won, and that's a winning record. The defense coming back healthy. CMC wasn't even there at all, and they still got 6 games. CMC is good for a +3. Plus, they brought in a running back. That's why I said to me, the best player on the whole team is CMC. So that's why he gets Offensive Player of the Year. You're trying to give it to Derrick Henry, who's not the best player on the team. He's lining up behind an MVP candidate. No one's saying Brock Purdy's going to be an MVP candidate. There's no
Brock Purdy's paid like he should be an MVP candidate. He's paid top player.
Okay, so is Trevor Lawrence.
So is Dak.
And none of them are ever in the conversation for it.
But I'm just saying, you're paid like it.
At least I can back up why I think CMC is. Why do you think how can Derrick Henry, all he can do is run. He'll get you 1,500 yards and 10 to 12 touchdowns.
He got robbed of an MVP when he was in Tennessee. Just like CMC got robbed of an MVP and Saquon Barkley got robbed.
We can have the argument about how it's an MVP award, but
the only ones you got 2 to 3, right? Derrick Henry, I don't think ever got robbed, but CMC and Saquon both did get robbed.
But MVP is a quarterback award anyway.
I mean, technically, kind of it is based off the past 2 years and when it should have gone to running backs. Absolutely. I'm just saying, I personally, I don't like your pick of Derrick Henry.
That's fine. You don't have to like it. Defensive Player of the Year.
Well, since there's a change of scenery, I really think Micah is about to play with a vengeance. I really do.
Chris Jones. He's going to get Defensive Player of the Year. He's been robbed twice.
He's been robbed maybe once.
Twice.
Once, 3 years ago. He's now a 30-plus defensive tackle
here.
He's
31, 32.
It's still causing havoc. Making big plays.
No, he's making
Damn, now you're
talking
shit
top
on your own
5.
player?
Yeah, because I'm not I don't want to call you clickbait because of it, but I don't think Chris Jones wasn't even in the conversation last year.
He was third or fourth, so
I don't think he was. If you can look that up and prove it, then I'll believe it. But I don't think he was even in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year last year. There's more DNs that are more capable for that than he is.
TJ Watt wasn't even top 5 for that.
He was also hurt.
Yeah.
When you're on, I can't help that.
That's why he wasn't. That's what I was telling you. That's why he wasn't.
So you can even make a case for Myles Garrett for that as well.
Yeah, Myles Garrett would have been a lot better pick than Chris Jones because Myles Garrett's going to be on the field a lot with that Browns offense.
You got no choice.
You'd been better if you would have said the Bengals Trent Henderson because he won it last year with 17.5 sacks.
He did.
Back-to-back years, 17.5 sacks. You'd been better if you would have said him.
I
like Micah. I think Micah's going to get it. There's going to be a chip on his shoulder. But honestly, Trent Henderson, I'm quite curious to see what he does. But I think Micah probably wins that bitch in a landslide.
I think the defensive player of the year award is actually going to be very tight. I think because of all those guys that we just named.
Well, I think it's always kind of tight when those guys are healthy and they get that 15 sack-ish. That's why Chris Jones, to me, isn't a very solid pick because he doesn't get sacks like that. He eats a lot of it. George Karlaftis is going to have more sacks than he does. So then you're going to make the case that George Karlaftis really should be in their minds. Not mine, because Chris Jones is more valuable than George Karlaftis because he eats double teams, 3 people, and stuffs the run, and still can get about 10 to 11, 12 sacks a year. And in playoff time, he does show up, but it's really stuffing the run and holding the line, while George Karlaftis is going to be able to benefit off of that. That's why it's more of a DN award.
I would like to see George Karlaftis get double-digit sacks for the first time.
As far as the end award, do we think anyone outside of the D line could be up for that?
I like to think maybe Surtain or Sauce. I could definitely see. I mean, like if I have to be different, I would say
Wait,
Surtain.
didn't Patrick Surtain win Defensive Player of the Year last year? He won Defensive Player of the Year last year because Patrick Surtain did.
I have no idea. You have your laptop and your phone. I thought Trey Henderson got
No,
it.
it was Patrick Surtain because people were complaining that he wasn't a 99 overall in Madden because he was Defensive Player of the Year.
Well, Madden doesn't necessarily get everything right. I mean, like the Michael Parsons trade happened, and I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah. So
Maybe I was wrong. Let me know if I was wrong. But Surtain would be the only kind of really secondary guy I could see winning it.
what about Colin Hamilton? Now getting paid like that, you should definitely be in that conversation.
He's always been. He's a safety. I don't remember the last time a safety has actually won it.
I can't remember when they were up for one.
I mean, maybe Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, you're right.
And
Surtain won it
It
last
was
year.
Surtain.
Surtain won it last year. So Trey Henderson's due.
Was robbed. Sack leader?
I mean, he was back-to-back sack leaders.
Yeah, not wrong. So, but those are our awards. Let us know what you guys think and who you got. And thank you for tuning in. We had our special guest Tanner with us today. See you guys next week.